CenturyLink is excited to celebrate Women's History Month
and International Women's Day. We hope you enjoy our discussion.
Today is International Women's Day. This year's theme is Press for Progress. What does that theme mean to you?
Progress forward is extremely important because while the Me Too movement has been, highly publicized and has exposed a lot, what I'm frustrated with is what are we actually doing about it? Mm-hmm. And I think that, and it's not just about women, I think that this is true for humans in general, but certainly when you think about a diverse population and diversity within the workforce in particular, I think this is all about the core culture of organizations and making sure that there is a culture that is very clear about the behaviors that we expect from our employees, that people are expected to be treated with respect no matter who they are, what their gender is, or what their ethnicity may be, or sexual orientation, etc. I think it's so important to start with, really the expected norms within an organization. I also think that it's incredibly important for managers specifically, right, to be able to live the culture and to live the expectations that organizations are setting forth for themselves. Companies, no matter how big or small, what industry they're in, anybody that's going to have a community has got to set the stage for them, again, to set the expectations of how everybody is to behave. So I think, the theme for this year is really important because I think we need to take steps in that direction, not just expose the issues. I think, again, those were important things that had to happen, but, figuring out what we do about that and how to prevent some of these situations is incredibly important.
Time for the next question?
Yes, ma'am. Let's see if I can get a good one for you.
Come on now. Be kind.
All right. Let's see. Why is CenturyLink a great place for a woman in tech?
I think CenturyLink has so much to offer nowadays, and I think we have come so far in regards to the capabilities of this company, and where not only a female, but anyone would want to be. I have found technology for me personally, I've never had 2 days the same. I can't stand having a monotonous job. You will not get that at CenturyLink. And you know that firsthand. Right. We've never had 2 days that have been the same. But I think that it offers so much for women. And right now what's exciting about the company is we're changing. We're creating the new CenturyLink. And we want to be the world's best communications company, and what that means today in an environment where social media and content are so prevalent, that I really feel we get an opportunity to change things so much. What I love, look at the women in leadership here. Jeff Story has such a diverse management team, and he has 3 female sales leader presidents reporting to him. I think that's exciting, and it says so much to the women in this company that they can go anywhere. So there's no limits here, and that's what I feel that that really shows.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I think the technology speaks for itself here at CenturyLink, and we certainly are on the cutting edge of so many different new technologies and trends across kind of the digital world. But I think here at CenturyLink, there's a couple of things that come to mind specifically. I mean, you're on the Culture Committee. I'm on the Diversity and Inclusion Steering Committee. So clearly it's incredibly important for the organization at the very highest of levels within this business to make sure we focus in on inclusion as a whole. And then I also think about, family benefits. And to your point, not just for women, but also for anybody who's a parent, right? The flexibility and the benefits that CenturyLink offers to its employees to allow our families to be taken care of. I think it's incredibly important, and I think CenturyLink does a really nice job at that. And so I think that there's tremendous benefit here. There's all the growth opportunity and the very cool technology that we work within. But then if you think about the culture and how deep-rooted it is in terms of making sure we're inclusive, we're getting our feet underneath of us, and I think we're going to go up from here.
Absolutely. Totally agree. All right, next question. There's quite a few in here, Laurinda. What progress for women have you personally witnessed?
In speaking with my mother-in-laws, right, I have two, a stepmother and a direct mother-in-law, as they talk about their careers and they talk about, what was happening when they were having to make career choices, I think they said there were three. You could either be a teacher, a nurse, or a caregiver in the home. And so their optionality was not vast by any stretch of the imagination. So I think about, how far we've come in terms of the opportunities that women have today. And I think about my daughters. I have two teenage daughters. They have a tremendous amount that's offered to them in terms of exposure to new ideas and new experiences, great schooling. The world is completely opened up to them. And the globality of the opportunities is like never before. And so I think that progress in terms of options and our ability to make choices that are meaningful to us and not necessarily expected of us is really great progress. Now, there's plenty more that has to happen, clearly. Pressing for progress and continuing to progress on behalf of women is an important theme that I think we have to continue to push for and accept.
I remember as a kid when we had to present at school what we wanted to be. I was very excited, and I told my mother, I'm going to present that I want to be a doctor. And she said, oh, honey, you can't be a doctor. You can be a nurse, but you can't be a doctor. And so talk about progress, because you have two daughters. I have four daughters, and they've been raised all the way through that there are no limits. And if I said to them, what would you like to be? It could be anything. And they would never think twice that there was a career that is different for a male versus a female. And so I think that is such progress when you think even in one generation what we see. To your point, we would love to have it be even more, but that is in one generation a significant amount of progress.
Yeah,
so
really good point.
I feel good.
So do you have final inspirational thoughts for us today?
Final inspirational thoughts. I think it's a great time to be a woman. And the reason I say that is you can do anything you want from a career standpoint. The sky is the limit. And what we have to realize as women is many times we are the only hurdle to our success. So my advice to women out there on International Women's Day is to say, never put the wall up yourself, because you can get out there, you can be creative. Don't hold yourself back, because other people will try to do that. But if you have confidence in yourself, there's nothing that can stop you.
Yeah, it's such a great point and such an important point. As we evolve as humans, and again in our professional environments, you have two kind of competing sides, right? One is how much success can I have? What are my achievements? Am I meeting my goals, or am I exceeding my goals? Am I progressing professionally? Whether that means development opportunities, or getting promoted, or making more money, etc. Those are all success factors that I think you start to keep an inventory of all of those things. My thought is, I think it's more important, quite frankly, to make sure you're building a character that you could be proud of. success will start to peter out, or will moderate or diminish, whichever word you want to use, if you don't actually build the appropriate character. And you know, people want to be around people who are not just successful, but are good people, you know, that they want to feel good about being around. And so I think that, you know, we have to focus in on character as much as we do on a resume or on a CV, ultimately.
And I think for a woman, that also comes down to confidence, because your confidence will take you much further than your career ever will, because your career has some end points. Someday you're going to stop working. But who you are and the confidence that you carry with yourself, no matter what, whether that's outside of the office, in the office, with your family, with your friends, is so very important.